Enjoy your home for the holidays with store-wide savings at Room to Room. 50% off, 48-month special financing, and as our gift to you, a free accessory buyer's card. There's something here for everyone, including gift cards. Merry Christmas from Room to Room Tupelo.
When choosing a dentist for our family, Tupelo Smiles was the answer for us. They greet us with warm smiles right when we walk in the door, and they make us feel so welcome. We love Tupelo Smiles.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Not too bad of a Wednesday across North Mississippi. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe and we are tracking those calm conditions into those overnight hours and carrying over to a calm start to our Thursday, but that calm does come at a cost, and that is going to be that freezing start to Thursday as well. Did you miss it? Well, it'll be back tomorrow morning in case you did, but if you're like me and you're ready for those warmer conditions to stick around, well, Friday will be a great piece of our forecast for you. As you see right here, warming up a little bit more by Friday. But then the real cold pushes in. That's going to be moving in by the weekend and really building in by the start of next week. You're going to want layers. You're going to want more layers on top of those layers. That's how cold we're talking about heading into that Monday morning forecast if that continues to verify. And again, we'll take a look at that here in the Room to Room Weather Center. The first 11 p.m., 36 degrees, already falling off to around freezing by 3 a.m. And those temperatures get even colder by our morning commute. 5 a.m. sitting around 31 degrees as the day goes on. Sunshine does stick around, warming us up nicely into the mid-40s by 11, but a little bit cooler than where we sat at today, and those cool conditions will continue to stick around into the latter half of our Thursday as a result. Now, temperatures across the region, upper 30s showcased in Tunica, as well as over there towards Grenada and Amory, even around Corinth. But there are still a few temperatures that are on the higher side of things. That's 43 Cleveland, Clarksdale, 46 in Starkville, 44 Columbus, Vernon, and Hamilton. So as the night pushes in, those temperatures will start to recede just a bit, and then we'll be enjoying those cool conditions and freezing temperatures for the start of our Thursday. Now, taking a look at our Mississippi Live Weather radar, not tracking anything on that radar, and of course those dry conditions have lasted all day long. Not a drop in the sky. We'll continue to enjoy those dry conditions well into those overnight hours, so don't need that rain gear out, but it will be cold. I don't want to say this is a picture-perfect forecast because there is still an asterisk, and that's going to be those cold temperatures, but satellite imagery helping reinforce those clear conditions. So if you're looking to head out, take a look at the night sky. You're going to be enjoying a beautiful night at that. Satellite imagery showing a few of those cumulus clouds over there towards Itawamba and Franklin County, Alabama, and a few out there in the eastern sections of Arkansas, but the entirety of North Mississippi looking good, looking clear. No complaints there. Our surface analysis showcases this high pressure system that's gradually moved into the area behind this cold front. Now that's basically over the top of us right now. You can actually, let me take it one more scan. This is how dominant this high pressure system is. We are continuing to get those northerly winds, and of course those are building into our area as we head into those Wednesday night hours and our Thursday morning. So that cold air getting all the way down here into North Mississippi, and that's why we're going to be cold for the start of our Thursday. But as we get into that extended pattern, this high pressure starts to build a little bit more towards the east. Those winds shift back from the south, and that's going to warm things up heading into our Thursday. Let's go ahead and track that out. So as you see right here, 10 p.m. on your Wednesday, their high pressure still remains in place. This cold front, of course, that big driver in the forecast, pushing a lot of that moisture out into the Atlantic, leaving us with potentially a few flurries up there around Kentucky, Tennessee, and North Carolina, but not in North Mississippi. Don't go outside expecting any snow. We're not going to have anything of that sort as we get into that forecast. Of course, if you continue that forecast into Thursday morning, we're still enjoying those northerly breezes, but still relatively calm. High pressure gradually shifting towards the east, and as that starts to move further towards the southern part of the Magnolia State, we see those southerly winds back into the forecast, wrapping up some of that Gulf moisture into Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas, and that, of course, moving into North Mississippi as well. So that's that shift that we're talking about in that weather pattern, and with that shift comes warmer air pushing in by the time we get towards our Thursday afternoon, Friday afternoon. Day's a little bit jumbled, but as we get into the latter portion of our work week, we'll definitely see better conditions in place, and this cool down doesn't last for too long before we start warming up or at least one more day. I'm saying it with hesitation because the warm-up does not last long. And we'll look at that in a little bit more detail in just a moment. But the next 24, it looks cold for Thursday. It is going to be a cold forecast, starting at 30 degrees, climbing into the low 50s, still with plenty of sunshine all day long. But as we get into those Friday morning and Friday afternoon hours, things trend a little bit better, a little bit more bearable, and a pretty good forecast for any of those parades that will be happening on Friday evening. I know that we do have a few parades happening on your Thursday. We'll look at that in a little bit more detail here in the Room to Room Weather Center, so stay with us for Mississippi Live Weather at 10 as we track that out here in the next minute.
Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
A cool and calm night in Maben-Oktibbeha County, showcasing 46 degrees right now. Dew point around 34 degrees, but those winds calm, and that's keeping temperatures a little bit more bearable, not making it feel any colder than 46 degrees. Pretty uniform across the board. And speaking of pretty, how about that night sky? Plenty of stars showing up, a beautiful clear night. So get out there, maybe take a look at the sky if you haven't done so in a little bit, and enjoy God's creation. It's a beautiful one tonight. 36 degrees in Crenshaw, a little bit colder the further west we go. And of course, that's those northerly winds. Thought that was a shooting star for about 2 seconds. What could have been? That caught me so off guard. That is pretty cool though, because hey, how often do you get a plane on one of these tower cams? So shout out North Mississippi Storm Chasers, getting a good view right there as folks are traveling in the sky, and again, enjoying a great forecast at that all the way across the Mid-South and the Southeast. Now Tupelo, I'd almost expect a plane here more than the Clarksdale camera. So 45 degrees in Tupelo. We're going to wait and see if we see a plane. I don't think we're going to be that lucky. Dew points 28 degrees. Did anyone say dry conditions? Well, if not, I will. It's a very dry pattern over the top of us. This looking out towards the west. Sun was setting earlier on today, and it was a beautiful one at that. If you missed it, make sure to tune into our broadcast, and we'll have a few of those cameras to showcase it. But we also have that on our stream, so download the Mississippi Live Weather app today. Temperatures right now, I told you it was going to be a little bit colder out further west, 42 in Clarksdale, 39 Tunica. I believe these are still on the warmer side, haven't changed over the next hour, so we'll see how that gradually shifts over the next few minutes. But yeah, it's upper 30s out in the Delta, whereas over here in the eastern portion of our area, we're reaching the low to mid 40s. So a little bit warmer the further east you go, and of course that's because that northerly wind hasn't fully reached all the way here into North Mississippi. So taking it on the regional outlook, you can see 44 Tupelo, 43 in Memphis, but just towards our northwest. 36 Jonesboro, and 34 around Fayetteville. That temperature differential, of course, not showing up too much right now, but we are seeing a 2-degree difference in Tupelo, 6-degree difference in Starkville. And I know what you're saying. Gabe, you said cool down. We're getting there. It takes a little bit before the effects of that front really set in place, and we're seeing that further out towards the west in Fayetteville with a 12-degree difference, Jonesboro a 2-degree difference. There will be some areas that have little change, but we are going to see that blue slowly but surely move further into North Mississippi, and that cool start going to be for all of us here in North Mississippi. So as we bring it back into our viewing area, maybe a 2-degree temperature difference on the negative side there in Oxford, a 1-degree temperature change in Holly Springs, the same thing, Tunica. The rest of us, I told you out east is still warm. Yeah, 4, 6, 8, 10-degree difference. So we're still cooling off, and it'll take a little bit. But trust me, by the time you go to bed right now and wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to be noticing that difference as you head out the door. So our Mississippi Live Weather Radar stays on the drier side. Once again, been a very dry pattern over the past few days. And as we look at the past 2 days, you can see not a drop of rainfall. And over the past 7, we've gotten a few chances, but this has not accumulated to much of anything. I mean, we'd expect 7 days for it to be into at least an inch, but as we highlight in just a few of these locations, and bear with me behind the scenes while I click a few of these, you can see that we're basically about a ½ inch across the board, a few locations even less than that. So that's not going to make too much of a difference on that drought monitor, not going to necessarily recede it, but we might just maintain it as we get into the latest drought monitor coming out tomorrow morning. That's what our meteorologist Maggie McCauley will be taking a look at. We do hope these conditions get better, but with only a ½ inch of rainfall over the past 7 shows you that those dry conditions are still reigning supreme over the top of North Mississippi. So our day planner tonight, dry conditions, perfect forecast heading into the drought monitor. Yeah, unfortunate, I know. 34 degrees by midnight, 32 by 3 a.m., and 30 by 6. So we're heading out the door to around, if not below freezing. So layer up once again as you take the kids to the bus stop, or if you yourself are trying to head out for work in the morning. Futurecast does highlight a beautiful forecast and the fact that it's going to be dry and mostly clear. So let's take our benefits where we can get them. That northerly wind also bringing a little bit of a breeze there. Might bump those temperatures down a few degrees, so it's going to be even colder than cold. So yeah, layer up. That's what we've been saying the past few days now. So Thursday morning, waking up and heading out the door, not a drop in sight, and it's going to be a great forecast once again with a beautiful sunrise, might I add. If you want to send those pictures into Mississippi Live Weather, you can do it through our app, and we'll be happy to use that in our morning shows and our evening shows. We'll showcase both of them. Our low temperatures tomorrow morning still going to be in the low 30s, potentially upper 20s if we start to cool off in the right ways, but really expected to be that low to mid 30 range as we get out and about for our Thursday morning plans. As I mentioned, some breezy conditions, maybe bumping it a degree or two down, but I'm not overly sold on those breezy conditions being maintained into that morning commute. So that's why heading out the door by 6 a.m., it's going to be right around that same margin. But if you're heading out even earlier than that, then breezy conditions going to play more of a factor as we get into whatever we have planned that early in the morning. Our school day forecast, 30 degrees around drop-off, so make sure those little ones are bundled up heading out the door. 44 around lunch and 50 towards that final bell. You can see the amount of sunshine we'll see all day long, so get out there and enjoy it. It's a picture-perfect forecast. As long as you have a jacket on, I think you'll be enjoying a lot of what we have here in North Mississippi. As we keep that going, Futurecast staying dry throughout our Thursday. And I'm going to expand it out here, and we're going to talk on a broader perspective because we're not expecting a drop here. Let's see where the action's happening. So this is your Thursday morning, and as you see, or actually don't see, it's right there behind me. This is going to inch further into North Mississippi, or should I say the Magnolia State in general, as we get into that lunchtime frame. Now that high pressure, as it gradually moves towards the east, it's going to shift our winds to more of a southerly flow than a northerly flow. Northerly flow keeps it dry and cool. Southerly flow actually builds back in some of those warm temperatures. So as that starts to push further towards our east, and in this case southeast, then we're going to get those warmer temperatures to return. So Thursday, you can see when it's reaching our southeast portion, it's going to be by 6 p.m. So Thursday overall going to be cooler than where we were today. But once those effects of that warmer air really push in, it'll be on our Friday, and that's going to trend a little bit better for those temperatures that we'll see in just a moment. So I told you it's going to be a cool one. 50 degrees New Albany, 47 Booneville, 51 in Amory, and 53 down around Louisville. We're also seeing 55 Belzona, 54 Greenville, and 52 there towards Clarksdale. Now those parade planners, going to be a cold one, so make sure to layer up heading out to those parades tomorrow evening. 47 degrees by 5, 41 by 7, and 39 degrees at 9 p.m. But you can see a beautiful forecast in the sky. Whenever you pair those lights with it, you get the whole community out. It warms things up, and it's going to be a great time out and around North Mississippi for any Thursday evening plans and any Thursday evening parades. So as we keep that Futurecast going, I'm going to keep it on the broader perspective once again because we need to track our next weather maker. And of course, that high pressure system moving off towards our southeast. So you can already see those southerly winds building back into the area. So we're not going to be expecting any of that too cool air reaching us. It's going to be more of that Gulf moisture, which is a little bit on the warmer side than where we will be for our Thursday. So as that moves out of the area, we're going to bring it back up here. And as you can see, that frontal system starts to move back into North Mississippi. This is midnight on our Friday. And as this inches closer and closer, no rainfall is going to be attached to it. But by the time we get towards our Friday morning, that's where those winds will shift once again. So if you don't like the warm weather whenever it comes to our late fall and early winter forecast, then this is the forecast for you. So bring it back in here to North Mississippi. You can see those southwesterly breezes still working their way into the North Mississippi area. But by the time we get into our afternoon time frame, look at those winds up above the front, a directly northerly flow into the area. So you basically have this boundary working its way right here, the cold front. As that continues to move out, those winds will continue to work its way in from the north. And you can imagine the type of temperatures we're going to see come Saturday. It is going to be a cold one, but luckily we get to enjoy some warm before that cold does move in. 64 in Houston, same thing Greenwood, 60 in Tunica, Senatobia, Oxford, Booneville, Corinth. Yeah, that's a good forecast. Definitely above average, our normal average for this time of year, as you see at the top left, 56 degrees. We're going to be above that all the way across North Mississippi. So get out there and enjoy it. It's going to be a great forecast to be out and about. Now let's go ahead and look at those high temperatures. And as you can see, we're going to be on a big time roller coaster of temperatures over the next few days, dropping to 51 degrees for highs on Thursday, back into the low 60s by Friday, and then we start to cool off pretty tremendously. Saturday, mid 50s, Sunday, low 40s. So you can imagine the lows that we're going to be seeing heading into our Monday forecast, or Sunday night Monday forecast. 41 only climbing to 46 by Monday. It's going to be a cold pattern those 2 days, and you'll see that on low temperatures as well. Falling off from the mid 30s Friday to the low 30s Saturday and Sunday, to the low 20s on Monday morning. And those low 20s, I'm going to be honest, are on the higher end of the spectrum. We could be experiencing teens as we head out the door Monday morning. So the start of next week is not something I think anyone is anticipating, and going to want layers as you go into those plans. So of course, Thursday, Friday, and into your weekend looking picture perfect with those sunny skies and temperatures right around our average. But as we head further into the forecast, Sunday into Monday, those sunny skies almost off-putting because they're not going to be warming anything up with those temperatures starting in the low 20s on our Monday morning. They do gradually get better by midweek next week, so that cold, that extreme cold, not going to last forever. By midweek, rain chances return, and so do those normal temperatures that we enjoy this time of year. We don't enjoy low 20s, but we can get by with some upper 30s, so we'll be ready for that forecast. So that's pretty much the latest on those temperatures. It's going to be one that you want to pay attention to, though, because our weekend forecast could be limited by some moisture. That moisture has been off and on the positioning, whether it's to the south or whether it's right over the top of us. That's what we've been assessing over the past few days and dealing with a headache behind the scenes when trying to forecast for it. We do believe that it will stay south, and I think that's going to be pretty consistent moving forward, but we'll keep eyes on that behind the scenes if that were to change. Now, Monday morning temperatures, be flexible with it. It's definitely going to be one that goes up and down and all around, but we do know it's going to be a cold one, our coldest temperatures of the season so far, so we're buckling up for that forecast and staying warm in the process. We hope you guys are doing the exact same. I want to look in the chat and make sure I'm not missing anything. Thank everyone for joining us tonight and staying informed. I hope you guys are staying as warm as possible. Let me see. Prove those high temperatures. I don't like those lows, Pat. I agree with you. It's an awful temperature to be around, and I know that it's going to be walking out the door and you're going to immediately want to call in sick to any of your school days or work days come Monday morning. So I hope you guys have a great evening. I'm grateful that all of you want to tune in this late, and I'll try not to keep you up too late. So we'll wrap this forecast up because it's pretty calm, it's pretty beautiful, and it's going to be a fantastic forecast heading into the next few days. Of course, keep it with Mississippi Live Weather for the very latest. The best way to stay informed is with that Mississippi Live Weather app, free and available on Android and iOS today. Make sure to download it, scan the QR codes on your screen. Our next broadcast happening at 6:30, 7, and 7:30 on your Thursday morning, bright and early, and it's going to be a cold one with meteorologist Maggie McCauley, so make sure to have those layers handy, have a blanket on hand as you're tuning in, and of course, I say it every night, have a warm cup of coffee. We'll see you bright and early for your Thursday. Until then, have a fantastic, or should I say a wonderful Wednesday night and a terrific Thursday ahead.
The number one reason insurance denies roof claims is not what you think. Insurance companies aren't denying your claim because you don't have damage. They're denying it because they don't have documentation. This is why we use drones, AI technology, satellite imagery, and just good old roofing experience to document everything that might be wrong with your roof. You as a homeowner need a roofer with documentation standards. Call Absolute Restoration. Let us come and inspect, document, and present.